The reading today reminds us about Israel when they were unfaithful and being once again exiled, this time being dragged off to Babylon. And when they returned from Egypt, they spent 40 years in the desert because they weren't faithful. This time they ended up in Babylon, which today is Iraq, for 70 years. So that, practically speaking, everyone who was dragged from Israel to Babylon never got to return home. Eventually, they did get back. King Cyrus said, "Let the people go, let them go back to their home." In the Gospel today, we see Jesus as a man who is the light of the world. We see that in the cross he is lifted up. In his resurrection he is lifted up. And in doing that he shines a light through the world, a light to dispel the darkness of the world. We see that Nicodemus came to Jesus at night in darkness because he was fearful of what people thought of him and what other actions could be taken against him as part of a member of the Sanhedrin listening to this new man, Jesus. And he was a secret follower coming out at night, afraid to exert his belief in the daylight. Yet when Jesus was lifted up on the cross, Nicodemus then came out of the darkness into the light. He was one of the ones that helped to bury Jesus after he died. Today, evil is still present in the world. There is only the light of Jesus that can dispel evil if we really think about it. His message of love, of care, concern, of looking out for other people dispels the darkness that is there. Darkness is when people go out to do their own thing. Even today, creatures of the night are the people who go out to play, to do the things that are very selfish, things that they don't want other people many times to know. This is their secret time to have fun, to be irresponsible, to do what is not what we would call good things. But Jesus is the light and should dispel that darkness. That love that he has should fill us, that we should not seek after the darkness of things, to not seek after self-indulgence and only what makes us feel good, what makes us do and act only in our own self-interest. So today, we have to realize that Jesus as a man lived, he was born, he had passions, he had fear, he had sorrow, he had joy. He experienced darkness too. What could have been darker than that night in the Garden of Gethsemane? The night when he begged that the death that he faced be taken from him. Yet the Father, his Father, prevailed on him to follow through, and Jesus did, and thus he was lifted up. Not only on the cross, but he was lifted up into a new life and up to heaven to lead the way and to be our light and our path to eternal salvation. And this is the journey we make through Lent, is to follow that light, to follow that path, and to understand and achieve our own resurrection out of darkness on that Easter morning that we'll celebrate in a few weeks.